We have been living here for a long time. We have survived disasters, extinction, predation, ice ages. We have survived a lot. But this time, we are facing something far more powerful. We are facing the nature itself. Climate change is no new term. We all know what it is. Climate change is when the usual climate deviates from normal, deviates from what has been normal all these years. So this deviation can be seen in the form of uh, wildfires, melting glaciers, precipitation, heat waves, global warming. So we can say the climate has been irregular or inconsistent in negative way. Inconsistent in negative way. For example, it has been raining in your area in the past decade. The average was around 100 mm. So, but due to climate change, this downpour, this precipitation has either changed in the downside, like it's raining barely, or it has crossed, it has broken all the records. We have seen this one in the wildfire and heat wave condition in Europe and America. We have seen this in news, and the inhabitants of both the places of Europe and America, they are not used to such conditions. A man from tropical area, he can withstand 40 degrees centigrade easily. I say this because I belong to a tropical desert, and 40 degrees centigrade is normal here. We can easily move around, we can go outdoor, we can do outdoor activities, they, we can perform even manual tasks during the midday. So we have evolved in this way, and we have evolved to cope this temperature. But the people of Europe and America, they belong to temperate climate, in short, cold climates. So they can withstand freezing temperature while we cannot, but they cannot tolerate this much heat. And during this summer, we have seen many instances of um, record-breaking heat waves, and those heat waves have breached the coping strategy of people of this cold climates. This is unusual for them. Same way, the wildfires in Canada and Australia, both were unprecedented because wildfire can devastate a really big area. Third one is we have seen instances of melting of permafrost or glaciers Arctic, in the Arctic area, or in short, in the polar areas, in both Arctic and Antarctica. We have seen many instances of melting glacier, and There can be two possible scenarios here. First is the water, the extra water that is released from melting. It will first waterlog the surrounding area. Second, it will displace or destroy surrounding area. Third, it will increase the water level of water bodies, and all the three scenarios are not good for survival. And second one, this melting of permafrost, we don't know what those thousands of kilometers of ice hold beneath them and hold inside their folds. And some scientists believe that those layers of ice have been there for thousands of millions of years, and there may be some deadly, long extinct or long dormant pathogens there, viruses and bacteria, all other microorganisms which can be lethal to all forms of life. So if those unknown, dormant and lethal pathogens are released by melting of glacier, we don't know what damages they can unleash on us. I just take example of one recent incidents, the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are all familiar with how deadly can a microorganism be. So heat waves, wildfires, and then there's irregular rainfall. Now the rainfall condition, irregular and erratic rainfall condition. Earlier, the rainfall used to be spread out over an area, and it has a regular symphony. It was a rhythmic scale or rhythmic playing out of climatic events like a flute or a music, rhythmic playing out of climatic events. But in last 4 5 years, there have been a change in this regular course. The rainfall has become erratic. Um, the downpour is sudden. Rain falls. Downpour is sudden. The rain falls in very quick succession, in very short amount of time. In short amount, a large quantity. So short amount and large quantity. And such instances, such examples have been reported all around the world. Just like Saudi Arabia, UAE, it was in news that in 24 hours the rainfall breached all records. And in the same way, in India itself, I had seen, I belong to a desert. The in western Rajasthan, and the name of desert is Thar. So I belong to Thar desert, and rainfall here is scanty. It rains very little here. But this year, this state or my area, this desert area has been in news because all previous records have been broken. It rained heavily here and it was unheard of, unprecedented. Uh, uh, I am 33 years old, and in my 33 years of life, I had never seen such such rainfall. And I know what it is. It is climate change. So when I studied and analyzed all past events globally, not just in my area, not just in my country, I analyzed all past climatic data. So I realized that the impacts, the consequences, and the results of climate change are exponential. They are not just linear. Uh, We human, we are although we have consciousness, although we have an intricate brain, a very intelligent brain, yet we think in linear terms. Like if I um, if I throw a ball, it will be thrown. It's not that even if I throw the ball, it stays in in my hand, in my palm, or it sticks to my palm. It will be thrown away. You can take example of linear events, and as mm, as taken in consonance with the climatic events or the linearity in our thinking, it compels us to think that if today it is 30 degree, yeah, tomorrow it will be 31 degree centigrade, and we are still very far from we are still very far from lethal heat waves. This is how our mind has evolved and adapted. And we all know how careless we are about distant threats. So, as of linear terms, we as a species and our brain, it has not realized this thing that the threat is not distant, and it is not that this 30 degree centigrade is going to take years to reach 35 degree centigrade per yearly, or 40 degree centigrade is going to take whole decade. It's not that. The climate situation has become so lethal and so unpredictable that we don't know if 30 degrees centigrade is going to take an year to reach 40 degrees centigrade. I'm talking about annual mean temperature. I'm not talking about any particular day. It means your country has increased 10 degrees centigrade on yearly basis. Now this 40 degrees centigrade is new normal. So, and if you think about that the whole year or even the country 30 one go, take an example of heat waves, all exponential way, like it is here. Not to say to be from 30 degrees by from 30 degrees temperature in your country, and I won't be surprised when it has 1,000 on anyone. It only so the climate, and we don't know. I'm really fools that in by an envelope club maintains 50 coordination and because place and like all struggle, emotional, emotional spiritual, uh, envelope, and because it's enveloped with smoke, a room with smoke, it's a outcome is going to be, and you think to algorithms like yeah, it doesn't unfold in this way. The car mono oxygen level goes down always oxygen with it goes down function efficiently in depleted oxygen level. It is only a fallacy that if percent to even 19 it able to 7 you won't be able to think around 15% percent particular thing is gone and depletion uh, inhibiting on, on your body. You know, to think in a negative manner. If you if there's 15% going to be lethal about uh, we have our room I tools and see the likes here because I am not uh, this is a likely scenario home with smoke or if your executive function life function properly. Way atmosphere with carbon oxygen basic to function. We won't be able to good at will decrease oxygen and this make the changes or actions that can help us is the of climate. Further, thing I have other see climate friendly. So this show we are it it's no it just that we if this thing dioxide chances of survival way of thinking seems a distant just in we are facing a threat goes and we have still our physical and somehow can now let's look at see it's using a mean they have been 20 climate means the way to other this so blaming about present that we have a we are and we are blaming it individually away responsibility, we are figuring out what we have to, followed by corrupt, and we becomes another big thing is, and many of us, the always talking about in uh, what we are doing. The threat is distant effects. Yeah, you can blame the you can we blame design patents, those who made corporates that are selling electronic and AI. So you can, whoever invents is, you should search those, or first the homogeneous, blame those as well. So, and uh, and it can, I said, the the consequences of, and the threat is not what we can do. Since at stake as of now, just think, fight this, that there is no transfer this results, and we need to come together, educated or uneducated, women, people, uh, janitor. We must make this thing. And mm, uh, even in business, write anything, both physically, as we have seen in COVID-19, man, uh, fit enough to hands is for present mentally fit enough. Evolution of full trust that enough to reproduce. They have ensured this stage parent parenting have managed to ensure this is successful transmission is about survival, not just physical, well, and help you survive why even those who can now we are self this powerful thing